Alright, so limiting beliefs are unconsciously preventing a lot of guys from getting a high quality girlfriend and their dream dating life. And if they just knew what these limiting beliefs were right now, it could be a lot different. So in 1954, doctors, runners, and coaches, they all believed that running a mile in under 4 minutes was impossible. They thought, there's just no way. Somebody's heart might explode, their lungs might collapse. And so there was a guy named Roger Bannister, and he was a 25-year-old medical student at Oxford, and he questioned this assumption that it was impossible, and he decided to train for it and try to beat it. And so one day, he ended up running a mile in 3 minutes, 59 seconds. He beat it. And so he did what nobody before 1954 or whatever ever thought was possible. Within a couple weeks, somebody else broke it. Within a couple years, 16 runners broke the record. So when they saw that Roger was able to do it, they believed that it was possible, and a lot more people achieved it too. So this is an example of something that it wasn't a real barrier. This was all psychological. Just the 4 minute mark, it seemed like a bit of a stretch. And as a dating coach today, I see 5 major psychological barriers that limit guys' confidence and their success with women. And so today my goal is to demolish them. And it's possible right now you probably have 1, 2, maybe 3 of these. So the first limiting belief that I see is that it's creepy or wrong to approach women. Women do not want to be approached. You shouldn't approach women. This is very common today. And so what's the result of this limiting belief? Well, this guy who has this limiting belief, he sees numerous women in his day-to-day life that he just doesn't talk to. And so he's relegated to dating apps as his only prospect source, his only way to meet women. And because of this, he misses out on tons of opportunities. I mean, all the women that he's around in his life, they're just gone with the wind. And so usually, I've had to think about this a lot. Why do people think this? And usually there's 3 types of guys who think that approaching women is creepy or wrong, whatever you want to say. So number 1 is the white knight. And this guy, he's really just jealous of other guys who can approach women. And he's sort of a beta. He sort of thinks he's protecting women, but he's not. And deep down, he's so jealous when he sees other guys talking to women that he just decides to erect this sort of white knight mentality. And it's funny because you never hear this talk in person. It's only online, where you might see under a comment of a video like some 14-year-old like, you should never approach women. It's always keyboard warriors. You never hear this from someone in person. The second guy is a guy who watched a single TikTok video of a girl who wanted some attention and she's complaining about some guy. Guy number 3, he tells himself that approaching women is creepy, and it's really an attempt to disguise his fears of approaching women or his inability to do so. And he covers this up with false moral justification. This is really deep, guys. And this is a lot of guys. Honestly, I've worked with some of them in the past who they'll see a girl walking down the street and the girl might have some headphones on. And so he tells me, there's no way I'm approaching that girl. I do not want to bother that girl. When really this is just moral justification to make the excuse. Because it sort of gives you a way of feeling good when you're saying, oh, the real reason it's not because I'm nervous or I don't know what I'm doing. It's that I'm just a nice guy. And believing that you shouldn't approach women is classic pedestalization. It's classic. Because let's say that this same exact guy who Well, say that approaching women is wrong. Had a hot girl walk up to him one day and start flirting with him and ask him to hang out. What would this guy do? Seriously. Would he tell the girl, hey, get out of here. This is wrong what you're doing. You shouldn't be talking to me and approaching me like this. I just highly doubt that would be the case, right? He would be extremely happy. He would go along with it. And he would tell all of his friends and all of his family. So if that's the case, if he would be super happy if a girl did it, why would it be wrong for him? Well, it's because he's idolizing women. He views women like they're goddesses who he shouldn't even be able to initiate conversation with. And on another point, let me ask you this. If you were to approach the girl, like a super hot girl today, the girl of your dreams, and she was attracted to you and ended up becoming your girlfriend, would that be creepy? Would that be weird? Would that be a wrong thing to do? No, obviously not, right? So this would be a win for everybody involved, and me and my clients, we do this all the time. And so every single woman in the world likes to get approached. And I'm dead serious. I can look you in the eyes and tell you that. Many women that I approach and that my clients approach, they are completely flattered just for the act of going up to them. Maybe you give them a compliment initially, but a lot of these women are super happy. So girls like attention. This is a well-known fact, and you are giving them some attention. And I know the guy's gonna comment below and say, well, that's why you shouldn't approach women. You're giving them all your power. All right, dude. Good luck with that. So the corresponding winning belief that I personally have is that women love being approached, especially by me. And so the result of this in a guy who has this belief is that he would unapologetically approach women that he's interested in talking to. So because of this, he gains social confidence, and he's able, this chicken will not shut up, he's able to get a girlfriend that he otherwise would have never met. She would have walked right by him. And right now, if you feel that your social confidence and that your dating life has some unrealized potential and you want my personal help so that I can help you get there expeditiously, I'm gonna put a link in the description of this video. Just go ahead and click that link. And so, limiting belief number 2 that I constantly see is that I'm not good enough to get a girlfriend right now, but I will be when I reach X goal. Like if I make this much money, if I turn this age, if I get a six-pack, if I move to this location, if I get a promotion at my job, or I graduate college with a PhD. Any of these things, it does not matter. And so what's the result of this? Well, a girl might flake on him for a date, and because of this belief that he's not good enough, that's what he believes happened. And so he might think something like, oh, it must be because she's with a billionaire right now. She's probably hanging out with Jeff Bezos on a boat right now, and Elon Musk, and they all have six-packs. And he also procrastinates on his dating life for years. And he tries to patch this like lack of self-esteem that he has with external things, thinking that will solve it. And so here's what I would ask a guy who believes something like this, who has this limiting belief. I would ask him, is it objective reality that you need to be making six figures, that you need to have graduated college or have a nice car or a six-pack? Like, have multiple women literally walked up to you, looked you in the eye, and told you that you need these things directly to your face? And also, do you already know how to flirt with women? Are you confident? Do you have a strong frame? What's your attitude like? And if so, then I guess the only course of action would be to get that thing, but I'm guessing that's not the case, that you don't have all of these things. So, is it possible that this is a limiting belief that you got from watching a movie, from a friend, from one bad experience you had with a girl that you interpreted as you being low value and needing something else? That's entirely possible. And is it possible that this goal you have that you think will allow you to feel worthy is completely arbitrary? Because I remember one time in the past, I was super insecure about my teeth because I never got braces as a kid, and my brothers have straight teeth. I have some gaps in my teeth, right? And I thought that this was a huge deal. And I remember asking my girlfriend at the time, I was like, I was telling her how insecure I felt about my teeth. And she just starts laughing at me. She's like, Joseph, your teeth are fine. And that sort of gave me an epiphany. Like, I thought I had this insecurity about myself that other people were judging about me, but really nobody cared. I went and asked my family. They laughed at me too. And a lot of times we have these goals in life that we think are going to make us worthy, that we've set in our minds, and they're just not real. They're just arbitrary. And it prevents us from feeling like we're worthy enough in the moment. So I would ask this person, are you not intrinsically valuable just as God's creation? Are you not able to give women your masculine presence, conversation, romance, connection? Because everyone has these things regardless. And if you feel like you have value, then you're gonna have value in that conversation with the women. So the corresponding winning belief that I personally have and a lot of other people is just, I'm the shit. That's it. There's no reason for it. It's not because I did this thing. It's not because I have this object. It just is what it is. And so the result of this is that a girl might flake on a date, and this guy, he wouldn't care because he just knows that this is the way that dating goes. This is not a reflection of his value, of his character, of who he is as a man. It happens. And he's also able to get a girlfriend at his current state. Let's say he, has a bunch of goals that he hasn't achieved yet. Maybe he doesn't have the super amazing physique that he wants, but he understands his value, so he can get a girlfriend at his current state while still improving himself in his life. The third limiting belief is that I don't have enough time to meet women and date. I am so busy. There's so much stuff that I'm doing right now. And so the result of this is usually he's not looking objectively at his calendar, at his time, and he just remains in his current situation of scarcity. So I had a client once who told me that he had very little time to date. So I was like, all right, buddy, let's look at your phone. Let's look at your screen time. So we looked at his phone, and what do you know? Hours per day on TikTok. He watched anime. He played video games. What else did he do? He did martial arts 4 days of the week. And on top of that, going to the weightlifting gym. So we reevaluated the way that he was spending his time. And it turns out that he had more than enough time to get a girlfriend. And so really, a lot of guys make this, and this, you could almost call it an excuse, really. Because you can get a girlfriend with 2 hours per week. If that's all you have, then you can get a girlfriend with that, especially. I mean, absolutely. Number 3, so winning belief is that I just have plenty of time to get a girlfriend. This guy who believes he has time, he's gonna actually manage his time wisely. He's gonna get a girlfriend because he believes he has time, and he uses that time to meet women. Limiting belief number 4 is that I'm stuck as awkward or shy or bad with women for the rest of my life because it's just my nature. I can't change. So he doesn't learn or take actions that would result in his transformation. He stays the exact same because we act based off of our beliefs. So let me tell you a story. You know, my dad put me in football at a young age, and I wasn't as good as the other kids. They were just a lot better. They were more skilled than me. And so I sat bench during the game. You know, this was one of those leagues that it wasn't for like a school, you paid to play in it. So there was a mandatory amount of plays that the coaches had to put each player in minimum. And I was getting like the minimum, like 4 or 5 plays per game. I was not good. And I thought that the other kids were just naturally better than me. And I thought that's just the way it goes. This kid is just better than me, whatever his name might be, Derek or something. Let's just say that little Derek, he's just better than me at football. And there's nothing that I can possibly do about that. That's just how he is. And so because of this huge limiting belief I had, I did not even try to get better. I was the kid that would hide in practice, tried to do as little as possible. I was super excited to just go home and play video games and get the hell out of there. And when I got a bit older, I started to play basketball. And I really tried during practice because I couldn't hide from the coach on the basketball court. And I improved. I got a lot better at basketball. And when I got better, I realized that I could have also got better at football if I just believed that it was possible. If I had known that it was possible, I would have tried. And it probably would have been a lot more enjoyable for me. So when it comes to women, I used to be in the chess club and the math club, like seriously. I was in the chess club and the math club. I was a nerd, and I wasn't a super cool, charismatic, swagged out nerd. I was awkward. And when I got around high school, I Googled how to get girls, like many guys do. And then I stumbled upon some online articles, some videos about cold approach and some other various ideas. And I saw other guys doing it. I heard other guys talking about it, but I didn't know if it was possible for me. I had a lot of negative self-talk where I put myself in that other category of guy who just can't succeed, sadly at the time. But luckily, I did it anyways. I still tried it. I was like, what do I have to lose at this point? And legitimately, within a few approaches, I met a girl who went on a date with me. And this was so exciting for me to happen at the time that I was able to walk up to a girl, get the girl's number, and go on a date with the girl. And a whole new world of opportunity opened up to me that day. I just didn't believe that existed for me at the time. So my winning belief personally is that I can improve myself drastically by seeking understanding, learning, by practicing, and just as time passes, I'm gonna get better. And so as a result, a guy with this way of thinking, he's going to take the actions that he's seen other guys and he knows other guys have done before to improve. And so this guy would become more attractive, and his dating life is now just in a much better place. Number 5 is there's no good women out there anymore, and all the good ones are taken. This one's very common today. So this guy, he could meet a quality girl, but the problem is his brain is so stuck in this worldview that he's currently living in that this girl could be amazing. She could be like an angel sent from heaven, but he's going to filter out all of her positive qualities, and he's going to amplify all of her negative qualities. She's going to say one rude thing to him. He's going to interpret everything that she says as an attack on him. And so even if that girl comes to him, he won't be able to pick up on it. That's how powerful these limiting beliefs are. So this guy, he just doesn't seek any quality women. He doesn't believe they're out there. And if a woman says something rude to him, he might, attribute it to modern feminism, and he might go fully down like red pill ideology and start watching podcasts where they're interviewing a lot of OnlyFans women. And if I watch podcasts every day where the hosts are interviewing OnlyFans women who live in Miami or LA or Las Vegas or something, yes, of course I'm going to believe that all women are like that, okay? And another thing, there's a trashy nightclub in my town where it's kind of funny. Legitimately 50% of the women that I'll walk up and I'll start conversations with, I will later find out that they have kids. There are so many single moms packed into this place. It's just like a moth to a flame. And so if I was just going to that bar, right? If that's the only bar I went to and I just looked at that slice of evidence, then yes, I would think that all women are single mothers. And I would be disheartened about dating a little bit, right? Another time that a guy will get this limiting belief is if he gets cheated on or if he goes through a divorce, and then they'll extrapolate this to all women. This is very common. And let me tell you, my first real girlfriend that I ever had in like middle school, she cheated on me with a guy named, I won't say his name actually, he actually passed away. But he was a decent guy. I don't think that my girlfriend at the time even told him that she had a boyfriend. I think it was all her, so I won't say his name. But, I was a little bit sad after that. I was, of course. If your girlfriend cheats on you, and it was a middle school relationship, right? But still, I was a little sad. But thank God I didn't go down the rabbit hole of just hating women, right? And extrapolating that to all women, because I would have missed years of experiences and just lots of relationships with really good women. But a lot of guys, they let it get to them. You have to be strong and look at things objectively. So yeah, the truth is there are many high quality women, but if you want to meet them, you can't go outside with preconceived notions and you have to take action. And yes, are there many low quality women? Sure, of course. I'll give you that. But like at the same time, look, we all have to play the cards that we were dealt in the best way possible. Because otherwise, what are our options? What do we do in life? Do we just give up? Because I can say there's no quality women out there anymore, that they've just all left. There's none of it anymore. And I can be single for the rest of my life. That could be my decision. Or I can understand there's some low quality women, there's some quality women. I can put myself out there. And yes, I will have to filter through some of these lower quality women. But there are millions of women in America, and I am going to meet a woman who aligns with my values. So my winning belief is that there are good women everywhere, and they're just sitting around waiting for a guy like me. They're just like, I just cannot wait till Joseph comes and approaches me and says hi to me. And so a guy like this, his awareness is open. He puts himself out into the world. He meets an awesome girl who becomes his girlfriend. And if you want guidance to get to your desired dating life a lot quicker, go to the link below and I would enjoy helping you with that. That's all for the video, guys. I hope you were able to get something out of this, and I'll see y'all next time.